today on Indie Postcard, we're so excited to deliver you a chat with Miss Emily Howe. This is our first in-person interview. We're super stoked to start doing these more. To give you a little background on Emily, she is the lead singer of an indie alternative band, and is a singer-songwriter from Petersburg, Illinois. Her band released an impressive first EP titled Flight Behavior in 2022, which holds standout songs such as Late Departure, which features the lead singer of the rising indie band The Moss, which is super sick. I saw you open for The Moss.
Yes,
that was
Shuba's.
Awesome. At Shuba's. Yes. And also another stunning track, the final track, Ladybug. Emily and the band have more recently leaned into their alt-rock sound with the release of their brand new singles, I Hope I Die Inside a Fire and Brain Cells. The recorded tracks are great, but where the band really shines is during their live shows, which Patrick and I are going to get the chance to see tonight. Getting their start in the indie house show scene in Urbana, Illinois. So, yeah, it should be a great time. Thanks for chatting with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. Super excited.
It'll be fun.
Cool.
So, firstly, I wanted to ask if you could introduce your band for us. I know they're not here right now.
It's okay.
But give us the lowdown on how many people are in your band and whether that's kind of changed throughout the years.
So, my band, I've had a few different bandmates. My thing kind of started I write all my own songs, and I always played solo, and I was eventually just like, I want a band. I want to play these shows that are louder and more energetic. And so I met a few people through my college dorm, my freshman year of college before I dropped out. But
but you went to U of I.
I did go to U of I.
Okay, ILL.
Yes,
Patrick and I both went there.
Yeah, cool.
So
I went there for 2 years. And then I kind of played some shows with them, and then I moved back home to Petersburg after I dropped out of school, and met my bass player and my guitarist through Instagram. And then we've had a couple people in and out, and our drummer now is my boyfriend Tyler, who I met through just the music scene in general. So yeah, just kind of word of mouth, just looking around. I asked Jacob to start playing guitar for me because we saw them at a show with Grace Lush, who we're playing with tonight. And I was just like, he should play in our band. And so, and then Brent, my bass player, reached out through Instagram, and it's just worked out well. So
awesome. Yeah, I feel like that's so much more common nowadays, just meeting through Instagram, super informal ways of connecting.
Definitely.
So when did you start writing and making music? You touched on being solo at first. But can you elaborate a little bit on that?
For sure. So I started playing guitar when I was 8, I think. My dad always had guitars around. He doesn't really play, but he can kind of play, so we always had acoustic guitars. And I was always just really drawn to them. And I was obsessed with Taylor Swift for that's kind of the reason I got into music as a little girl. I just wanted to be like her, I guess. And so I started I entered the local talent show to sing. I couldn't play guitar at this point. Our Song by Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow.
And I messed up. I messed up, actually, and, cried, but I still got 3rd place. I was 7 at this point.
Wow.
And one of the judges of the talent show was like, hey, I teach guitar. You should learn how to play guitar. His name is Jeff. Shout out, Jeff. But he taught me how to play guitar and started booking me, shows at little local restaurants and... and then I guess I didn't really start writing till I was 16 or 17 after I had met some other musicians, and they all had their own songs and I didn't, and I was like, I should get into that. So I don't know, I started to take it more seriously at that point. And just,
Awesome. Great answer. So You've just released 2 new singles.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of talked about that earlier. The Brain Cells and I Hope I Die Inside a Fire.
Yes.
And what was writing those songs like? Were there any like bumps in the process, or was that pretty smooth? And you're just kind of like, I mean, you're on this extensive tour. Yeah, are you just churning out music, or is it still challenging at times?
It is challenging, I would say. When people like ask about my songwriting process, I honestly like can't really give a straight answer just because it changes every time. For I Hope I Die Inside a Fire, that was one of the ones that I just kind of sat down and it just like kind of came out of me. I was really, really, really upset. Just like having a terrible time. I don't know. I don't even remember why, but I just like had all these candles in my room and I was so angry and so upset. I was like, I just want to like,
Yeah.
not actually, but like it's just like, I don't know. I feel very intensely a lot of times and I struggle to like exit my emotional thinking and like enter my rational thinking. And I feel like that's when I write a lot of my favorite songs because I'm just so emotional.
In the feeling,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just like have to get it out, and like it makes me feel better. And like it's almost like my way of sorting my own thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like gets to read it, and it's
Yeah.
kind of scary, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a very emotional person, and I like can't sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna write a song now. Like
Right.
there will be months where I don't write anything, and then it just kind of has to strike me at a certain point. And I do get frustrated, and I just have to remember like this happens every time.
To everyone, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
I
So-
feel like that's so interesting to hear about that song in particular, because just being a fan of your music, I feel like that song is like the one that really struck a chord with me,
you.
and just is like very raw.
Thanks.
So I could see that being one that just came in a moment of kind of like just feeling all the feelings.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So, I guess along that note, you have a really sweet album cover for this song. So I saw on Instagram a little behind the scenes how you made that, because there's like
Yeah.
a giant fire behind.
Yeah.
I think we'll drop a little like example, but
For sure. Cool.
Yeah, who helped you with that? How did you guys come up with the concept? All
So my friend, her name's Becca Nieblock. She lives in Peoria. She does photography. She's like a destination wedding videographer as well. She's really talented, and she had taken some like pictures of me at Canopy Club, and they just turned out really well. And I don't know, I was like I just had an idea of like I wanted to be like in the cover art, like my last release, but like I just kind of wanted it to look really like powerful and badass kind of, and I wanted fire like everywhere, but we were like, how are we gonna do that without like burning the place down?
Right.
So we actually, Becca actually like brainstormed with another one of our photographer friends. Her name is Summer Lee, also in Peoria. And they just kind of like came up with this thing and told me when to show up. And I had like my friend M, who is my guitarist girlfriend, she styled me. So she did the black lace dress with the necklace. And so we were in Tyler, my boyfriend's backyard, because he lives out in the middle of nowhere. And they have this like big pile of like stuff they burn every year. And so we're like, let's burn the stuff. And I don't know, they didn't want me like actually right behind the fire or right in front of it for like camera reasons. I don't really know. So
Yeah.
we had
Don't want to melt the camera.
right. Yeah. So we had my friends Sanny, James, Kai. I'm gonna forget somebody. I'm gonna feel terrible. Maybe there's just 3 of them. I don't know. There was a bunch of people kind of helping out, and they had these big mirrors. They were actually somebody's closet doors that we like borrowed, like set up behind me. So people are like actively holding mirrors behind me, and then we like lit the fire and had just like the amount of time it took to burn everything to like get the shot. And then Becca went in Photoshop and like took out the mirror lines and just made it look really clean and nice.
So the mirror was like the reflection of the fire.
Yeah, so the fire you're seeing was actually the reflection of the fire on that side. Yeah, she killed it.
Editing that out.
She's incredible. So
Very
It was
cool.
super fun too. We all just kind of got together, and then at the end we just were like throwing things in the fire and hitting things with sticks. Yeah,
energy.
Absolutely. It was great.
Yeah,
So
it
was
looks
super
like
fun.
it could be like a cover to a movie or
Thank
something.
you.
Very cool.
Thanks.
So I want to talk. This will be like rapid fire.
Okay.
3 adjectives you would use to describe your music.
You actually just said one, but somebody used the word cathartic before as well, and I feel like anytime anyone asks me that question, that's what I say now. So I would say like cathartic, sad. A lot of my music's really sad, and just like emotional. I don't know. It's all just it's just my feelings, and it's like it's simple. I guess it's my feelings, but it's like. It's not that simple. So, I don't know.
No, good answer.
Just just kind of relatable maybe. I don't know. I've had a lot of, especially like women come up to me and be like, I can really relate to that. Not that men
Female
can't.
rage,
Yeah,
for sure.
but yeah, I feel like my shit like resonates with the girls.
Interesting. Yeah.
The most.
That makes sense to me.
Cool.
I think just like tapping into like an anger that I feel like a lot of women aren't able to show. On it, like we all feel it at some point.
Yes.
But you kind of have to put on a face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just talking to you now, and we'll kind of keep this moving.
Yeah.
But because you have to go on soon.
Oh no,
but,
you're good. We got time.
You are so personable and sweet
Thank you.
in person, and then on stage you're just like this badass,
my
like just
God.
rock star.
That's crazy.
So is that like a character in your mind that you have to like get into, or is it like no, this is me, but I have to? How do you prep yourself to go on stage?
Yeah, I almost do feel like it's a character. It definitely is like a version of myself. I just think it's one that one thing I say to people about like why I really love playing shows. Like, of course, I love performing my music and like sharing it with people. But another thing is I feel like I kind of get to be like a different person almost. Like, oh, I can do this because I'm a performer. Like, it doesn't matter if people think I'm weird, you know? It's almost like freeing to have that like artistic label, I guess. To like wear things I wouldn't normally and kind of have a different attitude. And I do really think like that's in me all the time. Just like, I don't think it comes out until it needs to. And I almost think like, well, before shows, I get pretty nervous. I feel like getting ready, like doing my makeup and like picking out my outfit and just listening to music, having some alone time there just kind of helps me like hone in on like the vibe I want to be that night and just kind of like get in character. Yeah. So it is kind of getting in character, I would say.
So interesting.
And just kind of like pep talk myself, like, you can do it, you can do it. And I think I just kind of have to forget that, like, when I really remember, like, oh my God, everybody's watching and listening, I kind of just have to, like, I like to embody, like, I think of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Because I love Queen.
Of course.
And, like, he was just such, like, a diva on stage. And, like, you know, that was really scary back then, especially and for, like, a man. You know, to like have that like flamboyance, and he just like did it, and everybody just loved it, you know. And I feel like I just have to tell myself, just own it. Like if I don't own it, people can tell. I don't know. I have to like talk myself up and just like.
Yeah, almost the more you hold back, the worse it looks.
Right.
Like the more you could just like put it all out there, it looks so carefree and intentional. And as a dancer, a former dancer, I definitely understand that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you do a great job with
Thanks,
it.
I appreciate it.
I think like your live show is really where you shine. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Along that line, what's your favorite song to play live? Do you have a favorite?
I do, yeah. Probably Cross Your Mind, which actually sounds very different on the recording versus how we play it live. So, you know, do with that what you will. But yeah, I like to play that one just because, like, I get to like scream a lot at the end, and I don't know. That's like the first song I ever dabbled with like harder sounds, if that makes sense, I think. And so it's cool for me to like see how it's grown as a song, and like my vocal parts and like the screaming at the end, how I've kind of like added that. Yeah, it's just my favorite because I get to like be angry and loud and
I feel like on the recording it almost has a folk sound.
Yes, we had some banjo in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. I hear that, and I feel like live, you lean more the other way, more like rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you imagine, like, in the future doing more of that, like cross-genre stuff, or kind of really leaning into the alt-rock sound because you, like, found that and it's working?
I honestly, I think both. I really love, like, some softer folk music, like, Gregory Alan Isikoff. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. I love him. Like, it's just so quiet and, like, feels really nice. It's easy to listen to. Really pretty, soft melodies, not a lot of percussion. I do love stuff like that. I think I do have some songs that I would like to record soon, that I do want to keep softer like that, like Flight Behavior vibes.
Right.
And then I also have songs that I want to make big and dynamic. I think my goal is to just find the happy medium, so I can like have something here, and everything in between. So they all still fit together, but they're still like
Coherence.
Different vibes, different loudness, different.
You want to try it all?
Grunge. Jesus, I just brain farted. Grit. That's the word I'm looking for. Different levels of grit, I think.
Totally.
I'm messing around with that. Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited. Excited to hear all that. So, a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. So I don't know if this is just something I noticed, and that's not really a intentional thought, but in Flight Behavior, I mean, you have the song Ladybug. It obviously is called Flight Behavior, so it's flying. I feel like ladybugs are like sort of a symbol throughout the album. Like, what is that true?
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
they have any significance?
Yeah, because I think the first song I wrote for that EP was Flight Behavior, and that kind of like planted a seed in my brain. I was like, I'm gonna make a little thing and like talk about different things that fly. Sometimes like there's late departure. It kind of talks about like missing my gate, like airport lingo. Ladybugs, like they fly, and yeah, I do really resonate the most with Ladybug. If I had to like pick one, I feel like they're all like different versions of me, but that one I feel like still hits really hard for me emotionally. It just talks about like wanting to kind of disappear and like wishing I was a ladybug and I could just like kind of crawl around unnoticed and be close. Be close to someone who doesn't want you there without them noticing. You know, I was going through like the loss of a situationship. It wasn't like which is like maybe even more confusing because
definitely it's like, was that even real? Concrete.
And so I wrote that about that.
Why a ladybug as opposed to any other like a butterfly or?
I don't know. It just kind of
resonated.
popped in there, and I do really like the color red. I wear red a lot, and so I just kind of was like, wish I was a ladybug, you know?
Yeah. As you do. It was funny, I was listening to that song the other day, and then a ladybug, like, literally came from my window,
that's crazy.
and I was like, that was weird.
That's sick.
That was just fun. But, so, I kind of asked you this a little bit, but what do you hope the rest of this tour will bring? You're traveling across Illinois, playing a bunch of different shows. What do you hope this tour will bring, and what can your listeners look forward to this next year from you?
Yeah, cool. So, I guess my main goal for like this tour was just kind of like get my stuff out there, like people who've never heard it before, like let them hear it. You know, maybe they'll like it. Because I feel like I do play shows frequently, which is great, and I'm very grateful for like everyone who wants me to play shows. I think that's really crazy that people like want me to come play my songs. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, I feel like a lot of the same people, I see a lot of the same people at my shows, which is great. And I love that.
fun.
Yes, but I kind of want to build that fan base and, I don't know, just plant my music in other people's ears and make more connections, meet new musicians. I love talking with like bands that we get to play with. Yeah.
So you're playing with a couple of other bands tonight, like Minivan, Gray Slush, and Yo-Yo?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that there's like a really strong indie scene and community in Chicago and even just Illinois, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel like you guys like use each other to like boost everyone up, kind of?
Yeah, that is definitely like a huge part of getting out there, which like I never really knew until I did it. But like the more people you like make friends with, or like bands that are like that like your music, you like their music, similar genres. One thing that's really helpful, because we're not based in Chicago, and we were looking around for a venue to play. And we got the venue, but then we were like, we need like a local pull, and we know Minivan pretty well, so we asked them. They hopped on the bill. So it's just nice to have people in other places to like, hey, we're trying to play in Indiana. Can you hook us up? And you can do like a show swap, you know, kind of like do each other favors. Just like mentioning each other's names to other people. Just kind of like helping each other out, which I think I'm really grateful for that, especially because growing up, I played guitar and I sang. I never really had like any musician friends. Like I had never had that, and I love my friends dearly. They just like don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, sense of community.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. And so now that I like have that, like I just feel like music has kind of taken over like every aspect of my life. Like my boyfriend I met through the music scene. He's really into music. He works so hard on everything he does.
He's a drummer.
Yes. Yeah.
He's pretty legit.
He's super good. Super good. He works so hard, which like I am a lot of times afraid to like do hard work. Yeah, it sounds pathetic, but like, you know, and just like
we get it.
Yeah, scared to like fully
commit,
full force commit, and he has really like shown me how to do that and like helped me, and so like I'm really grateful for him. And like I'm friends with so many musicians now. The people in my band and Gray Slush are like some of my best friends, and I just love them so much. So yeah, it's just been great to like have music infiltrate different parts of my life that I never really like knew were there. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, it's just been super cool having band friends and
it's a game changer when you're
Definitely.
trying to get into this industry. It's really fun. We actually had Minivan on Indie Postcard
Really?
a couple
Cool.
months ago, and Patrick's cousin is in the band. So
Yeah,
it's
sweet.
fun. I feel like we're trying to like also talk to musicians, and we will get connected to different ones through someone, and
Yes.
that's been a whole journey too.
Cool.
But I guess my last question was, is there any like final message you want to share with listeners today? I know, not to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. I think I just want to say, for anybody who listens to my music or comes to my shows, I am literally so grateful. I'm not trying to like sound like I'm doubting myself or anything. Like I obviously believe in myself, and that's why I'm doing this. But it's like really, really wonderful and just like reassuring to see that people like want to show up for me and my band and stream my music and, you know, keep up on social media. It's just like weird to wrap my head around that like something that I make is like resonating with other people. That's like the best feeling in the world. So I just want to like say a huge thank you
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them for real.
On that note, follow Emily Emily Howe on Instagram. How do you spell it?
EMILYHOW.
Okay, Emily Howe on Instagram, Spotify, anything else?
Apple Music.
Apple Music.
Yeah,
all
anywhere
that.
you listen to music.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Go stream Emily Howe, go follow her. She has a pretty awesome Instagram presence too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, really cool style. I also
Thank
feel like
you.
that's not something I touched on, but you definitely have an aesthetic that you've curated.
Thank you.
And it
I
feels very
appreciate that.
you also.
I really appreciate that because I literally have a crisis about what I'm going to wear before every show.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
thank you
I
for
love
saying
the
that.
two.
Thank
These are
you.
very cool.
These are from a local vendor in Decatur. We played a show last night in Decatur. I'm pretty sure her business card said necromantics, but she does like taxidermy stuff. She had like cat paws.
Are these real teeth?
No,
okay.
these are real. These are ceramic, but she did have like real taxidermy
Wow.
stuff. Super cool, yeah. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for chatting with us.
Oh, thank you
Really
for having me.
appreciate
I'm
it.
honored. I'm excited to see like how it turns out, and yeah, I appreciate you guys coming and wanting to talk to me. So
Of course. Can't wait
Thanks.
to see the show, and we'll definitely get some photos of that as well.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
For sure.